After 10 long years, the protagonist, now bearing the title King of War, returns to his mother's graveyard. Standing before her, he whispers, "Mom, I'm back." Memories of his childhood flash before his eyes. Several years ago, my father betrayed my mother. That ruthless man kicked my mother, my younger sister, and me out of the family. It rained heavily that night. My mother knelt at the gate and begged the man for mercy. She was willing to leave, but she hoped he would let my sister and me stay. However, no one opened that cold iron gate. My mother had no idea just how merciless that man truly was. Suddenly, a wild dog lunged from inside the house and attacked them. In a desperate attempt to protect us, my mother was badly injured, though we eventually managed to escape. We thought we could finally live a peaceful life, but trouble found us again. Not long after that night, someone framed my mother and forced her to take her own life. When I got home, I saw her lifeless body and heard my sister's hopeless cries. My sister was only 10, and I was 14. Even then, those who set my mother up showed us no mercy. A bloody, cruel blade was turned toward my sister and me. Just then, a mysterious man appeared. He killed the attackers and took me away. Time passed quickly. 10 years later, the Hua Kingdom was ravaged by war. Invaders attacked the borders, and they seemed invincible. The kingdom was on the verge of collapse. It was then that a single man snuck into the enemy camp and began a massacre. No enemy could stop him. He saved the nation when it was falling. His deeds were etched into the hearts of the people, and his name spread across the land, the King of War. Now he has returned, fueled by honor and a burning rage. Can his old enemies withstand his fury? Can he finally avenge his mother? The King of War declares, 10 years have passed. 10 years ago, I was like a dog, bullied and humiliated. 10 years later, I return with honor and power. This entire city shall kneel before me. Suddenly, a group of thugs approaches, shouting, "You son of a bitch! Who allowed you in here? Didn't you see the warning at the gate? Damn, Miss Shangguan Nalan ordered us to open this woman's tomb, destroy the gravestone, and remark it as a bitch's tomb. We just finished. You're lucky to see our masterpiece." The King of War reveals the truth. It's her, Shangguan Nalan. She was once my mother's dearest friend. But their bond shattered the moment a man came between them. He was a son of the Chen family, a noble house from Ocean East. Even though my mother already had 2 children, he fell for her. Seeing this, Shangguan Nalan was consumed by a venomous jealousy. To marry into that noble family, Nalan used every despicable scheme to frame my mother. My mother owned an ancestral home in the old town. Since the Shangguan family dealt in real estate, Nalan forged the property certificate and seized the house. She demolished our home and threw us onto the streets. To eliminate any chance of trouble, Nalan threatened our lives, the lives of her children. My mother was left with no choice but to take her own life to protect us. But Nalan is a vicious devil. Her cruelty didn't end with my mother's death. She ordered her men to lock the cemetery and stationed guards at the gate. Today marks the 10th anniversary of my mother's passing, and Nalan has done this by design. She desecrated my mother's grave and exposed her remains to the elements. She is a monster in human skin.
Then all the thugs approach the King of War. One says, "I'm feeling good today, so I won't beat you up if you get out of here now." Meanwhile, another thug spits on the grave. Seeing this, the King of War's rage boils over. He grabs the thug with just one hand and slams him into the ground. The other thugs watch in shock as the King of War commands, "Lick it clean." Terrified, the thug begs his companions for help. Instead of showing mercy, the King of War breaks the man's leg and repeats, "Lick it clean. I don't want to say it again." Trembling, the thug begins to wipe the spot with his own clothes. Suddenly, the roar of multiple helicopters fills the sky. They descend carrying massive containers, and a troop of men rappels down. At a single gesture of the King of War, his men begin unloading gold from the containers. They start rebuilding his mother's tomb entirely out of solid gold. The thugs are paralyzed with disbelief. "I've never seen anybody visit a tomb with so much gold. It must cost billions of coins." Once the golden tomb is complete, the King of War speaks with cold fury. "I will bring Shangguan Nalan here and let her kneel before your tomb. She must atone for her sin with her life." The thugs whisper among themselves, "Who is this man? He is so rich. He builds a tomb with gold." The blonde-haired thug tries to sound tough. "We were ordered by Elder Mo Gan of the Chen family to guard this cemetery." The King of War thinks to himself, "After she destroyed my mother, Shangguan Nalan finally married into the Chen family. That woman is scheming and vicious." The blonde thug mistakes his silence for fear. He's scared. The Chen family is famous in this city for its power, and Elder Mo Gan is a legendary fighter. But the King of War doesn't even look at him. He releases a burst of pure energy that strikes down all the thugs instantly. Seeing his friends fall, the blonde thug panics. "That's a misunderstanding. Please don't kill me. Let me explain." The King of War replies, "Explain it?" The King of War never listens to anyone's explanation. The thug's eyes widen in horror. "King of War? Are you Lord Zahn, the King of War who saved the country?" Before he can finish, the King of War kills him as well. The King of War picks up the original desecrated gravestone and says, "Let's go. It's the birthday of Shangguan Nalan's son today. Let's go there to have some fun and return this gravestone to that bitch." The scene shifts to Tito Restaurant, one of the landmark buildings in Ocean East. A car pulls up, and the King of War steps out. He looks at the building and thinks, "Years ago, this was the old town area. My mother's old house was right here, but now it has been rebuilt into this restaurant." One of his subordinates says, "My king, I will deal with them. You don't even have to do it in person." The King of War shakes his head. "You should go back to guard the tomb. I'll face my old enemies myself." He walks into Tito Restaurant, places the heavy gravestone on a table, and sits down. The women in the restaurant are instantly mesmerized. "What a charming man! I'd be so excited to date him. I've never seen such a handsome man in Ocean East." Suddenly, the leader of the security team, Wang Shanyao, approaches him. "Sir, according to the rules, you have to check in before you enter. It's the engagement banquet of young Master Chen. Everyone has to check in so the Chens can check the list. Those who don't come with lavish gifts will be kicked out. That's the rule made by Madame Shangguan Nalan. How dare you come in like this? Show me your invitation card. And what is this wrapped item? We will open and check it." As the guard reaches out to open the package, the King of War stops his hand instantly, using nothing but a pair of chopsticks. He says coldly, "You have no right to check it. Ask Shangguan Nalan to come here and open it herself." The guard struggles with all his might to free his hand, but the chopsticks hold him like iron clamps. Suddenly, the King of War releases his grip, and the force sends the guard flying backward until he crashes to the floor. From the balcony on the upper floor, Chen Heiting, the second son of the Chen family, watches the scene. He turns to his companion and asks, "Elder Mo, what do you think of that guy?" Elder Mo Gan scoffs. "He couldn't even block a single attack from me." Chen Heiting smirks. "So many people have come to my mother seeking revenge over the years, but all of them were thrown into the sea to feed the sharks."
Back on the ground floor, the captain of the guards shouts to his men, "Hey, what are you waiting for? Kill that guy!" Just as the guards rush toward the King of War, a woman steps forward and commands them to stop. She approaches the King of War with a flirtatious smile. "Nice to meet you, sir. I'm Xuan Wei, the manager of the PR department of this restaurant. You can call me Wei. Come on, let's drink and have some fun. We should talk before we fight. It's not time to fight, or it will disturb the engagement banquet. Let me see what gift you have brought." Xuan Wei confidently assumes her beauty will make him listen, but the King of War shoves her aside without a second thought. "You have no right to check it. Ask Shangguan Nalan to be here in person." Stunned, Xuan Wei shrieks, "Indecent guy! I was so polite to you. How dare you hit me?" At that moment, Zhao Maocai, a shareholder of Tito Restaurant, arrives. He yells at the security team, "So many men watched Xuan be bullied by that bastard? Is this how you do your duty?" He slaps a guard across the face. "What's your job, dogs?" The guard bows his head. "Sorry, Mr. Zhao, we didn't do our duty well." Zhao turns to Xuan. "Xuan, are you okay?" She begins to cry, claiming the stranger harassed her. Zhao glares at the King of War. "How dare you hit Xuan? Do you want to die? Kneel and apologize to her, and then get out of here." The King of War completely ignores him. He looks around the restaurant, remembering the old days when people lived happily in the houses that once stood here. Enraged at being ignored, Zhao orders the guards to kill him. One guard swings a heavy iron rod at the King of War's head, but it doesn't even leave a scratch. However, the attempt provokes the King of War's fury. He grabs the wrapped gravestone and slams it into the floor with such immense energy that the ground cracks and shatters. The resulting shockwave blasts all the guards backward, injuring them instantly. Upstairs, Chen He-ting's expression changes. "Elder Mo, that guy looks quite powerful. What do you think now?" Elder Mo Gan concedes slightly. "He's talented. He could perhaps block 3 of my attacks." Chen He-ting relaxes. "That makes me feel better. We are in no hurry to deal with him. I just wonder what is inside that white bag." The King of War stands amidst the fallen guards. Terrified by his power, Zhao Maocai tries to sneak away, but the King of War hurls the gravestone through the air, blocking Zhao's path. He steps in front of him and says, "You said you wanted my life. Since you wanted to kill me, you have to die here." Using his overwhelming power, the King of War forces Zhao to his knees and places his foot on his chest. Just as he is about to finish him, Chen He-ting finally steps down and commands the King of War to stop.
At that moment, Xuan Wei cries out, "Young Master Chen, you are finally here! This man broke all the rules. I tried to reason with him, but he pushed me to the ground and was so arrogant. He is even threatening to kill Mr. Zhao. He has no respect for you at all. Please help us." While Xuan is still speaking, the King of War suddenly crushes Zhao's head like a balloon, killing him instantly. Coldly, the King of War looks up and asks, "Were you the one giving me orders just now?" Young Master Chen He-ting, begins to tremble in fear at the sight. Seeing this, Elder Mo Gan steps in to steady him. "Please sit down and leave this matter to me, young master." Elder Mo Gan then turns to the King of War and says, "I originally thought you could withstand my first 3 moves. Now it seems I was wrong. You might be capable of resisting my first 10 moves." The King of War asks, "So you are Mo Gan, the one who sent people to Wanfang Mausoleum to dig up tombs and deface them with lacquer?" Stunned, Elder Mo Gan commands one of his men, "Call Du Fei, ask him what is going on at Wanfang Mausoleum." "No need to call," the King of War interrupts. "They have all been killed by me." Elder Mo Gan's face darkens. "Who exactly are you?" "You do not have the status required to know who I am," the King of War replies. Infuriated, Elder Mo Gan lunges forward to attack.
With a simple wave of his hand, the gravestone flies toward Mo Gan. The elder tries to block the massive stone, but he is powerless against its momentum. He is blasted backward, falling heavily and coughing up blood. Gasping for breath, Elder Mo Gan asks again, Who are you exactly?" The King of War ignores the question and looks around. "Do you have agate pomegranates here? I remember when I was a child, there was a pomegranate tree in this courtyard that produced the sweetest agate pomegranates." "I asked you a question. Answer me," Mo Gan shouts. "No matter how powerful you are, this is the Chen family's domain. Chen Ba Dao, the head of the clan, is the #1 fighter in Ocean East. I suggest you stop causing yourself trouble." The King of War's eyes turned cold as he thinks, Chen Ba Dao, now the husband of Shangguan Nalan. He pursued my mother when he was a young master. My mother was driven to jump off a building, and Chen Ba Dao deserves his share of the blame for provoking her. Consumed by bitter memories, the King of War loses his patience. He glares at Elder Mo Gan. "My question was whether you have agate pomegranates or not. Yes or no. Spare me your chatter." With a sudden burst of speed, he strikes Elder Mo Gan, sending him crashing into the wall until he loses consciousness. The King of War then turns his gaze toward the terrified Chen He-tin. "You, young Master Chen, tell me, do you have agate pomegranates here or not?" Chen He-tin stammers in terror. There are no agate pomegranates here, but I can send people to buy them for you right now." The King of War sits back down. "Please, hurry up, and remember, I only accept agate pomegranates."
The scene shifts to the 5th floor of the restaurant, where a man addresses a distinguished group. "Patriarch Wen, today's engagement and the subsequent marriage will bond your Wen clan and our Chen clan together. This is an occasion of great festivity for Ocean East. Your daughter, Wen Shui-teng, and my nephew, Chen Ting-he, are an envied pair, perfectly made for each other." Shangguan Susu, the younger sister of Shangguan Nalan, adds, "It is only that my elder sister, Shangguan Nalan, and brother-in-law, Chen Ba Dao, are absent due to their trip abroad to expand our family business. That is why I am presiding over this engagement banquet today. I hope Patriarch Wen will pardon this arrangement." Wen Qingshan, patriarch of the Wen clan, turns to his daughter. "Shui-ting, you must show some intimate affection to young Master Chen when you meet him later." In his mind, however, Wen Qingshan is troubled. "Our Wen clan is currently facing a big crisis, and we need a strong partner. In all of Ocean East, only the supreme fighter Chen Ba Dao is powerful enough to save us. Shui-ting, father knows you don't like young Master Chen at all, but our rival is too strong. I owe you for this sacrifice." Shui-ting knows she must go through with this to save her clan, but her heart belongs to the mysterious man who once saved her life. Suddenly, a guard rushes in, breathless. "President Shangguan, there is a troublemaker downstairs. He has not only killed Zhao Mao Chai, but also injured Elder Mo Gan, and is now threatening young Master Chen." Wen Qingshan speaks up. "President Shangguan, such a matter is too trivial for your personal attention. Let me pen a few words on a scroll. That should be enough to frighten away the invader." One of the guests exclaims, "Chen Ba Dao dominates the martial world, while Wen Qingshan dominates the cultural world. No one dares to take the prestige of Patriarch Wen lightly. Allow me the pleasure of displaying your work, Mr. Wen. Your calligraphy is that of an ultimate master. It will inspire awe in any mobster." As the messenger leaves with the scroll, Shui-ting asks her father's permission to go downstairs to see what is happening. He agrees. As soon as Shui-ting sees the King of War, her heart stops. She recognizes him instantly. A flashback reveals a terrifying moment from 3 years ago. 2 black cars were about to crush Shui-ting in a foreign land.
Suddenly, the King of War appeared, stopping both cars with his bare hands before vanishing without a word. Shui-Ting runs toward him. Young Master Chen, seeing his fiancée running, he thinks she is coming to embrace him. He opens his arms wide, ready for a hug. But Shui-Ting runs right past him and throws her arms around the King of War. "Finally, I've found you!" she cries. The guests are stunned. Whispers break out instantly. His fiancée is cheating on him at their own engagement party. What a shame! The King of War looks at her, remembering that Shui-Ting was his childhood friend. When other kids bullied him, she was the only one who stood up for him. But Shui-Ting has no idea that this powerful King of War is the same weak boy she once protected. "If it hadn't been for you, my father and I would have died," Shui-Ting says through tears. "It's been 3 years. I thought I'd never see you again. You left so quickly I didn't even get to thank you. I'm Wen Shui-Ting. You can call me Shui-Ting. What is your name?" The King of War gives him a fake name. "I am Zhan Fei." Shui-Ting's eyes widen. "Your surname is also Zhan. What a coincidence. I have a childhood friend with the same surname, but I haven't seen him in years." The King of War smiles subtly. "Do you believe in fate? You'll meet him one day." Back on the 5th floor, Wen Qingshan and Shangguan Susu are continuing their talk about the marriage when another guard bursts in.
Suddenly, a guard arrives and takes Wen Qingshan with him. Upon stepping outside, Wen Qingshan sees his daughter standing with a young man. Seeing this, Shangguan remarks, "Your daughter is supposed to marry our Chen Hei-Ting, yet here is Shui-Ting standing next to another man." Wen Qingshan approaches his daughter, causing Shui-Ting to step away from the King of War. She runs to her father and says, "Father, look! This is the man who saved my life abroad, the one you've been searching for years to thank." Hearing this, Wen Qingshan is overjoyed and thanks the King of War for saving his daughter's life. However, Chen Hei-Ting quickly intervenes, telling Aunt Nalan, "Aunt Nalan, this is the man who brutally injured Elder Mo Gan and our guards, and he was even attacking me." Furious, Aunt Nalan demands, "Wen Qingshan, teach this boy a lesson. How dare he trouble our young master Chen Hei-Ting?" When Wen Qingshan refuses to act against his daughter's savior, Nalan threatens, "If you don't listen to me, we will cancel this engagement right here." Wen Qingshan calmly agrees to cancel it. Enraged, Nalan calls upon a master named Si Feng and declares, "No one leaves until you beg for forgiveness." Master Si Feng descends and warns the King of War, "Young man, you are no match for me. I'll give you 3 seconds. Surrender or die." The King of War remains silent. Si Feng sneers, "Young man, isn't it good to be alive? Do you really want to say goodbye to the world?" As Si Feng prepares to attack, he notices a black token in the King of War's possession. It is known that there are only 5 such tokens, each a different color, and the black token is the highest rank, reserved for a legendary military figure. There is only one person in the world who holds it, the King of War. Realizing who stands before him, Si Feng's aggression turns to pure terror. He instantly drops to his knees, begging for mercy. Confused, Chen Hei-Ting sends his men to check on Si Feng, but Si Feng brutally attacks and clears them away. "Master Si Feng, why are you attacking our men?" Chen Hei-Ting yells. Si Feng responds by delivering a powerful slap that sends Chen Hei-Ting flying. When Shangguan Susu, Nalan, screams, "Are you mad? How can you strike your own people?" Si Feng slaps her as well and continues to beat her, thinking to himself, "Chen Badadao is just a local bully of Sea East. He's nothing compared with Lord John, who controls half of the world. He's not even a piece of shit. I'm trying to make up for my offense. I hope the King of War can forgive me and spare my life." Despite the beating, Shang Guan curses them both, shouting that they won't survive once Chen Badadao arrives. Suddenly, a man named Tank, a subordinate of the King of War, crashes through the restaurant wall. He grabs Shang Guan by the leg, swings him into the air like a rag doll, and thrashes him. Then, Tank pulls out a massive hammer and strikes him, leaving Shang Guan critically injured. Tank glares at the crowd and declares, "If you disrespect my king, my hammer will show no mercy." Terrified, everyone present bowed before the King of War, pleading for forgiveness. The King of War walks up to Chen Heiting and demands, "Where's my agate pomegranate?" Chen Heiting quickly orders his guards to bring it. Taking it, the King of War says, "I can give it to my sister. She'll be surprised." When Chen Heiting mentions his parents are abroad, the King of War replies, "Since your mother is away, then you take this for her. Tell her that a month later, I'll kill your entire family." He hurls a heavy graveyard stone at Chen Heiting with such force that it crushes both of his legs. Even in his pathetic state, Shang Guan remains arrogant, yelling that his brother-in-law will kick his ass. Without a word, the King of War finishes Shang Guan off before leaving. Later, the King of War arrives at Ocean East High School in a car to see his sister. He overhears a group of thugs nearby discussing a plan to kidnap a girl on someone's orders. As school lets out, the thugs move towards a student. Just then, a girl on a bike pulls up and shouts, "Zhan Wushuang! Quick, get on the bike!" It is then revealed that the King of War's sister is named Zhan Wushuang.